Good evening. My name is Audrey Champion, and I want to discuss this week's reading. So one of the common ideas I found in this week's reading was student choice. Students can't always have a choice, but when feasible, I agree that they should be given a choice in their writing. In the article, The Power of Expressive Writing, it states, writing is more than work for achieving an outcome. It's identity work. In the enjoyment of writing, student writers can find themselves. They can't do this if we don't allow their creative juices to flow. That's why I think giving them a choice for some of their writing assignments is a must. We can't always tell them what to write about or give them their writing topics. The article opens up with, there's a clear line between students being engaged with writing and the quality of literacy outcomes. Student willingness to write can be promoted by making writing more enjoyable and meaningful to young people with authentic connections to their lives. And again, to me, this just means that students have reasons and they have purposes to write, and we need to give them the opportunity to write and to express themselves. The article also clearly states that as teachers, we can open up writing for pleasure in our classrooms. We can incorporate pleasure writing into almost any assignment that we give. Even if it's a research assignment, I feel like students maybe should be given a break from the research, from the mundane research and looking up and trying to find ideas for a research topic, and given the opportunity to do some pleasure writing just to free their minds. Another common thread in this week's reading was to give students time to write. We have to allot time in our classes with the assignments that we assign. I remember a time when students completed the entire writing process. They went from brainstorming to writing a rough draft to revising and editing and then writing a final draft. Well, most of the time now, students don't have an opportunity to do all of that, and especially when we get to our state test, because the test is timed. Students have to read 2 articles. They have to answer multiple choice questions. They have to write a constructed response, and then they have to write a full-blown essay. So they don't have time to gather their thoughts, to put their writing down on paper, and then to go back and revise and edit. They have to revise and edit as they go. So just allotting them time to write, I think, is important. I love the idea of protected writing time. From the Clakins and Ehrenworth article, it states that Murray first wrote about the writing process and said that writers need their time. Writers need 3 things. They need time, choice, and response. This is the need. They need protected time, and they need response from a community of writers. The feedback that they get is crucial. So the feedback can be from their peers, the feedback can be from teachers, but they have to receive feedback. I also like the idea of goal setting. To me, the feedback and the goal setting kind of go hand in hand. With the feedback, they know what they need to do and where they're headed. With the goal setting, they know where they're going. So without the goal setting, they don't really know where they want to go next. They have a starting point, but they also need to know what they want the final outcome to be, and how are they going to get to that final outcome. From the article Joyride, I found the author bumper sticker to be on point. Writing is fun. We have to make writing fun for our students if we want them to write. The text goes on to say, many people find writing painful. I could think of a few students when I read that quote, that students find writing painful. giving writing assignments, and right now we are well into our school year, and students, some of them are working on their third writing assignment for me. My Excel class is working on an oratorical speech on the topic is "You Are Good Government." So I had to give them some ideas to come up, to think about as far as them and teenagers and what role they play in good government, and not just looking at the adult roles in good government. So when I read that quote, there were a few students that came to mind, even in that Excel class, as they're getting ready to turn in their oratorical speeches today, as they were writing and finishing up and revising and editing, I still saw students struggling. I enjoyed this week's readings and look forward to collaborating and discussing more.